How's it going, everybody? So I'm sitting here right now because I have an interesting story I want to tell you. So I'm here to tell you the story about my nightmare skiing and Airbnb experience. And this is mostly because I'm just a bit bored and I'm a bit bummed out. I'm sitting outside my home right now and I really can't go do anything, so I figured I'd make a video. As you can see behind me, I've been setting up my office area a bit. Got my mountain bike right there. Got my on air sign right there. It's right behind my head. Not the best placement, but that's where I liked it. I am wearing my snowshoe jacket right now. It's cold out. It's in the 40s, which is surprising for Central Florida area. But I should be in West Virginia right now. I should be at Snowshoe right now. My brother and I, we had a very fun ski trip planned. We were going to be in West Virginia for an entire week. We were going to be skiing for that entire week at Snowshoe Ski Resort. And West Virginia looked great. They were covered in snow, about 60 inches of snow. So they were getting fresh powder days every single day. It was going to be great conditions. Even though it wasn't going to be snowing while we were there, they were going to have tons and tons of snow. I even got an offer to go to Winter Place Ski Resort for the weekend for free because of some kind of creators event. And I turned that down because we were going to be in Snowshoe instead. So I was just really looking forward to this. And last year we had one of the best times at Snowshoe Ski Resort. Probably the best trip I've been on since I started skiing. And this time was going to be even better because I'm on skis now and I've seemed to like that a lot more natural since I do a lot of rollerblading. I was really excited to hit the park. I was practicing very specific tricks on rollerblades. That way they can translate over to my skiing. I wanted to see like how good I can get in skiing in a week of riding park. Anyways, to get back to the story, I guess it starts with me doing work around the house. For the past week, I've been doing a lot of work around this place. I've been decorating it and I've been doing a lot of outside work. I've been just trying to make it feel like comfortable. Somehow, somewhere, I was bit by something on my calf. Most likely a spider is what they said. And this was about a week before we left for our ski trip. And to me, this really wasn't anything because on my knee, I had a big cut that was from the skate park, and that was what was bothering my knee for the most part, but I didn't think anything of that either. And over the course of the week, my leg started to hurt more and more, the calf around where the bite happened, and it was getting bigger and more red. So I was thinking that maybe I got bit by something poisonous. I need to go get it checked out. So I went over to a urgent care about 2 days before we left for our ski trip, because I thought that the urgent care would give me something to make the pain go away and the swelling and make it heal up a lot quicker. So they ended up telling me that it was infected and they gave me antibiotics, right? And I figured the antibiotics would just make the infection go away. So at this point, I wasn't really too concerned because my leg wasn't hurting too bad. And I started taking the antibiotics the day before we left. So the morning of the ski trip, when I woke up, I was actually barely able to walk. The next day after I started taking the antibiotics, I thought I was going to be feeling better, but I felt way worse. I wasn't even able to get out of bed good. I was limping really hard on my leg, and it felt like it was like burning or some kind of burning, stinging sensation, which it kind of concerned me. But I figured the antibiotics would do their thing and it would just go away, right? So when my brother got to my house, we packed up quickly and we just headed out to West Virginia. It was a really long drive, it says 13 and a half hours on the GPS, but we've drove there before and we make stops, we do our thing, we take our time, and usually it takes about 15 to 16 hours. This is something we don't really mind because we do like road trips. I love road trips personally. I would drive across America if I could, if I had the time. So the problem was each couple of hours, like I would kind of check on it and it seemed to be getting worse. And about halfway through the trip, I wasn't even able to get out the car anymore. I couldn't stand up on the leg. It just hurt way too much. So I ended up buying crutches from a CVS that we stopped at somewhere in South Carolina. And I was on crutches for the rest of the time, for the rest of the day. Even with the crutches, I was still hopeful that the antibiotics would start to kick in. It said they kick in about 24 hours. And I would be feeling a lot better. And maybe over the course of the next day or two, even if I've skipped the first day, I can ski, starting the second day that we're there. That wasn't the case. As we were entering into West Virginia, my leg was getting worse and worse. So when we were about an hour away from Snowshoe, the pain was getting so bad that we were thinking about stopping off at a hospital along the way. There was only one hospital about an hour away from Snowshoe because it's really in the middle of nowhere, and it was a small hospital. For some reason, I still thought that the antibiotics would kick in, and by the time we got there, I could just wait it out a day or two and I'd be able to ski. That wasn't the case. I didn't know how serious it was. I just knew that it felt really bad. One of the worst pain I've ever felt in my legs before. The next day, we had to pack up everything and leave. I reached out to the Airbnb host that night to let her know the situation, that we weren't going to be staying the entire week, but we were more than happy to pay for today and tomorrow because we'll be leaving tomorrow morning to go back home. So I was hoping that we would pay for the 2 days that we did stay there. And for the rest of the week, because it really wasn't my fault, I would even show her proof of me going to the hospital and everything, that it was a medical emergency. It was kind of out of my control. If we can get a refund for the days that we weren't going to stay there. They said no right away. They basically said, yeah, we can give you a refund, but we're not going to. You should have purchased traveler's insurance. But to me, that wasn't the point. The whole thing was they could have given us a refund because of the situation. And I even told them I was more than happy to stay with them again. I'll rebook with them right away. We'll rebook with them in a couple of months. I'll book it so we can come back in a couple of months. And they just said no. It just made the trip a little bit worse. And even Snowshoe themselves for the lift tickets, they said no refunds. And then when my brother went into the office and he talked to them and he explained the situation, there was a guy named Mike, and he was just like, you know what, yeah, I understand. And he walked right up and he gave us a credit for our lift tickets. So he gave us gift cards to Snowshoe, $500 each, which is basically the amount that we paid for our lift tickets. So we can use them for lift tickets in the future or whatever else we need to, because we've also been thinking about going there for mountain biking and stuff as well. So we'll see in the future. At least they gave us something back for the lift tickets. So we were really upset that morning because the Airbnb that we stayed in, it was in one of the lodges in the village of Snowshoe, and it had an amazing view. It had a view of the main lift. I think they called it the Ball Hooter lift. It was the main lift that's right in the center of the village, and you can see it from our balcony. And we were so excited to be in a ski in, ski out, and just to be skiing for the entire week. So it was just, I was in a really bad mood already because the whole ski trip was ruined, and I ruined it for my brother as well because he basically had to drive me back home, and because they wouldn't give us a refund. But I was mostly concerned about my leg. I didn't really care about anything else. I was really concerned about what was going to happen to my leg, or what it was, why it was in so much pain. So we packed up as quickly as we could, and we started to head home. I basically went straight to the hospital, and they did confirm it was some kind of bite that got infected. They sliced it open. They sliced open the wound area and the cut, the bite and everything, and they kind of drained it out. It's really nasty, and they did what they had to do. And now I am sitting at my house. They even took me off the old antibiotics that I was on, and they put me on a stronger antibiotic. For the past week, I have been sitting at my house, not being able to walk. I've been hopping around or using my crutches. But today, and this is the reason why I am making a video, is the first day that it's feeling a lot better. I'm actually able to walk today. I'm able to put weight on my leg. I went to the emergency room twice for them to have to check it out and for them to cut it and drain it. And I have to go again in another 2 days. Basically, this entire week was supposed to be an extremely fun, enjoyable week, and it's turned into somewhat of a nightmare experience. I've been ordered to basically sit in the house for the next week as it heals until I'm able to walk normal again and the infection completely goes away. I figured I would just tell everybody an entertaining story, but at the same time, you have to be really careful with whatever cut, bite, scrape that you get, because make sure you clean it good. Make sure you put some kind of antibiotic cream on it. Make sure you cover it up, keep it clean. Because I've never really was too careful with anything. I have tons of cuts and scrapes and bruises and things all over my body. And you always hear things are going to get infected, but you never actually think that they are going to get infected. I'll be here laying on my couch doing pretty much nothing over the next week, just healing up. And that's very hard for me to just sit here and do nothing, to not even be able to walk out in my yard. I have a big yard now. I love it. Thank you for listening, and I will see you guys next time.